Okay, class. So we are here after completing the breakout room activity. So I'll listen to your answers. Some of the answers are very close to the this answer. So the question is, many of the students they say that let's explain the question here. So the question is that they are they are to reduce or remove the trade barriers in effort to achieve free trade. It means they are putting their powers to reduce the free trade. And what are the free trade means? Free trade means that there will be no tariff, nothing else. One good can move to other country easily without any tariff, without any stuff, without any government restrictions. But one dissatisfied exporting executive says that free trade is not conceivable, it is not happening because still the trade is at the mercy of exchange rate. So like Tiffany says, if we import more, export more, whatsoever, the exchange rate may, change. We just discussed, that if we import more, what happen? Our currency start decreasing. If we export more, our currency start rising. So here, so we are still at the mercy of exchange rate, or a government, even if it doesn't, levy the tariff or employ taxes on the imports, even then, if a country can fix the exchange rate or disrupt the exchange rate, even then it can control its import and exports. So here, the answer is the answer is so here this statement implies that if there is no explicit barriers, a government could attempt to manipulate exchange rate to level that would effectively reduce the foreign competition. So what if our exchange rate is decreasing but government increases through different means, through state bank intervention or whatsoever? So our imports, our exports start declining. And what if government decreases our exchange rate? In that case, imports start decreasing. So government didn't violate anything, didn't tariff, or didn't did any thing that violate the free trade agreement. But here it intervened the exchange market and disrupt the free trade thing, right? So this is a true sentence, and in explanation is like that. So you can pause the video and read the example by yourself. We don't have much time, so we have other things to conclude. So let's move forward. So limitation of a weak home.
I have a question.
Yes, Oliver.
But even without a free trade zone, the government can manipulate the exchange rate.
Even then, they can manipulate that. But we are talking about the free trade zone. Even then, the country is not in free trade. Even then, it can change, or intervene in the exchange market to disrupt the import and export. Right, Oliver?
Also, it only implies a barrier if you only have one
Maybe
trade partner. It's the exchange rate. You can choose a different partner who
yes, exactly.
have multiple importers.
Yes, it can be. Can be. So there is a internet disruption here. Can you hear me, Oliver?
Yes, can hear you.
So you understand this part, right?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay, I couldn't hear your question properly, but let's discuss this after this class, okay? Be online with me, okay? We'll talk about it.
Okay.
So limitation of weak. Weak means when your currency exchange rate is down. Solution, competition. foreign companies may lower their prices as well. If you think that by lowering your currency down, so your exports start rising, others can also do that. Or the companies, if the government is not reducing the exchange rate, so what happened? The companies may lower their prices to deal with you. Impact of other currencies. A country that has a balance of trade deficit with many countries is not likely to solve all the deficits simultaneously. It's not like that. If I have a trade balance deficit with one country, so I can just stop, trade with that country, trade with other countries, so that my at the same time my trade deficit going toward trade surplus. It's not going to happen. Third, pre-arrange international trade transactions. So here, international transaction cannot adjust immediately. It's not like that. If I put the orders for if our currency is going down, so we export more, right? Or if our currency is up, so we import more. Why? And if we import more, then our currency start rising. Our currency start decreasing immediately. No, there is a lag, and we call this J curve. Let's talk about the J curve. J curve is that if you are in a trade deficit, so here the trade deficit is trade, which means exports is equal to imports, and below this level imports greater than exports. So your trade deficit is there, so your currency is low, so you are exporting more. So what does the theory says? If you export more, people will demand more of your home currency, your home currency value start rising. But it takes at least, the research says it takes at least 18 months or longer to achieve this level. It's not like that next day you see the fruits of your policy. It takes time. We call this lag indicator, or there is a lag between estimated to be 18 months or longer, leading to J curve effect. Right? So even though if your currency is higher, right, and you are importing more to reduce its value, the foreign exchange to reduce, not for the forex to reduce, what happened? It takes 18 months at least that the value of your currency go down, right? Now, intra-company trade. For example, if company trades among itself, so many companies purchase products that are produced by their subsidiaries, like iPhone. So iPhone, America is purchasing iPhone from Apple company, China, right? Or Apple company, Korea. So in that case, no physical currencies are exchanged, so the transactions are not necessarily affect the currency fluctuation. Maybe they say that we imported 10 billion worth of iPhones to America, but they are purchasing from their own subsidiaries company. So maybe the no physical values of exchange are reported, because just sending the goods over there, and after that when it is sold, then it has a minimal effect, but not the effect that we have expected. Similarly, Boeing importing different parts from different worlds and assembling a plane and then sell it. So does it mean that they are also, because they are their subsidiaries, not the outsourcing companies? Because outsourcing company, you have to pay money and acquire the things. These are their subsidiaries company. So these are your unit working over there to produce goods for you as an input. So this may not have the required effect as it is expected. J curve effect. Everybody understand the J curve effect? Tiffany, EJ, Amar, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, our next classwork is, so we don't have much time, so I'm just going to ignore this breakout room activity. Let's just do that. So explain why a stronger dollar could enlarge the US balance of trade. explain why a weaker dollar could affect the US balance of trade deficit. So when the exchange rate is higher, so what happened? It exports, because its products look more expensive to the outside world, its export decreases, imports rising, which causes increase in balance of trade deficit, or leading towards the deficit side, because export greater than import. Now the second one is why weak dollar could affect the US balance of trade deficit. If what happened? Our exports start rising and our imports start decreasing, because for us foreign goods looks more expensive because their exchange rate is higher, and our products looks more cheaper to outside world because dollar is weak. In that case, exports greater than imports, which causes the trade deficit balance to decrease, or leading towards surplus. Understand? Everyone, Tiffany, Oliver, Sufyan, right?
Yes, in the first case, it is greater than the yes.
In the second one, the exports greater than imports. How? We made a mistake. Here we go. Yes, we made a mistake here. Exports are lower than the imports. Thank you. Now, friction regarding exchange rates. So all the governments cannot weaken their home currencies simultaneously. Otherwise, all the system collapse. Right? If dollar exchange rate is increasing, if government increases its own currency rate, it means others, relative to others, they are decreasing. Not like that. Dollar is increasing, also yuan is also increasing, and euro is also increasing relative to dollar. It may never happen. Actions by one government to weaken its currency causes another country's currency to strengthen. Similarly, if you are weakening your dollar, it means automatically you are strengthening other countries' currency. Government attempt to influence exchange rates can lead to international disputes, like China and US. China says that US says that the Chinese government have artificially deflated the value of yuan. Otherwise, dollar is equal to yuan. If not, that is the reason we have 400 billion plus deficit with China. So these are international disputes as well. So we do have disputes, yes,